I never thought I would say it, but there actually are not enough lawyers in small communities.
Really?
I know, it's shocking. Like when I got here, Decatur had way too many lawyers.
Right.
They've retired and no new lawyers are coming here. I mean, we cannot attract much.
Really?
I mean, we get a few,
right,
and they're great, but we can't get the numbers we need.
But so it's worth it. Welcome to another episode of the Beyond Business Podcast. If you haven't already subscribed to the Beyond Business channel on YouTube and followed us on your favorite social media platforms, I urge you to do so and share it with friends so that we can continue to bring you what we do. Today on Beyond Business, I'm sitting down with an attorney who's a Decatur, Illinois native and founder of Bre Law. He has built a strong reputation in our community for his work in law, advocacy, and business, and today we're diving into his journey and find out where he grew up, what kind of student he was, what pushed him towards the legal profession, and how he went from learning the system to navigating it at a high level. We'll also get into the realities of running a law practice, the challenges most people don't see, and where he sees both his firm and himself in the future. This one is about discipline, responsibility, and what it takes to build something meaningful while serving your community. Welcome today's guest, Mr. Chris Ellis. Pleasure to have you, buddy.
Hey, great to be here.
That was long, right?
You know, it was, and I'm not going to talk about hardly any of that.
It's okay.
So
they know.
No, it's all good.
What if you were like, who is that?
Look it up. Right.
Who did you Wikipedia, bro?
Right. Not me. No.
Whose page was that?
No, it's great, man.
No,
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad. Colby, he and I had chatted a few times, and you had just came up. And then finally, matter of fact, you came up most recently because I believe you had been maybe mentoring, maybe just talking to Jack.
Correct.
Yeah. A book crossed my. I don't.
Ego's the Enemy by Ryan Holiday.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to get it because Colby was
title
like,
says it all.
Colby was like, it's good, dude. It's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he goes, you might not think you have ego. Read that book.
Read the book. Yeah. Right.
But he was really impressed. Well, that's valuable because, Colby's a smart guy and his kids have paid attention. You know what I mean? You can see by everything, really. Yep. But it's still dad. You know what I mean? To have somebody go, hey, check this out. A suggestion that comes from elsewhere is really valuable at a certain age.
No, absolutely. And Colby's a great guy, and Jack, I tell you, he is and Dylan. I've got to know Jack better. He's so young, so astute, so good on his feet, older than his age. And talking to Colby, I mean, in reality, what I saw happening is Jack went and started a clean-cut operation in Springfield.
Right.
Grew it, so it's his baby in his mind.
Yes.
He's, 19, and I saw there was going to be tension there on him understanding that while he did it, and he should get all the accolades and all the credit and all the praise heaped on him, and, I encourage Colby to do that. At the same time, you got to step back and look at you're part of something bigger.
Right. And
how does my growth work in with the larger organization? And, Colby and I talk a lot about business, family, faith. And so I said, I'd love to talk to Jack. And really, we met for a couple hours and went over the book and talked a lot and some texts back and forth. And I think it's had a good impact.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well, I had him in here, and what an impressive young man. I mean, it was like he was 8. I think he maybe was just 18, and he was a year in on that business.
Yep.
Like he's 19 with a couple years of ownership, which, I think being aware that this is a really awesome team you're a part of is huge.
Absolutely.
But it is hard. You get a kid that Colby has made him work for it. He
Absolutely.
hasn't, you know what I mean? I mean, you'll get the leads if they call the wrong number, but other than that, go get them. And he's doing it.
And he did it.
A whole nother approach, it sounds like, too, where he's really in with the chamber there. Colby said, dude, since he's talked to you, he's like, since Jack has talked to Chris, I am learning from Jack, and I freaking love it.
Well, and I love that because I've learned so much from both of them. And,
Right.
They're in, painting, construction. Same life lessons apply to everything. It applies in my business, and on both sides, though. It's not just Jack that needs to learn the lesson. It's Colby that needs to learn the lesson because, Colby will want to take credit for the growth of the business in Springfield at times, just like Jack wants to take credit.
Sure.
And it's recognizing that what has to happen is the ego has to step back from it, and they've got to look at the success they've both had and what they've given to each other. And, in my firm, for instance, we've had great success and some great, really, really big cases. And, and I've had lawyers do really good work on cases, right? And these are like national class actions that I brought in. And
Sure.
they're big cases. And we get paid, and, I'll pay them, large amounts of money that they've earned. And I would still, and especially my younger days, catch myself thinking in my mind that, well, I gave them that opportunity. And it's like, well, true. And I did, but without their effort, the opportunity would have never came to fruition either. So it's kind of team, and it's all got to be together. And, the lessons that, I just turned 50, and if I would have known a tenth of what, I feel like I'm learning now,
Right.
young and starting a business, it
Sure.
would have been great.
So I've been a business owner for my whole adult life, really. And I've done this podcast for just over a year.
Congratulations.
And
That's great.
Thank you. But I've learned more
Yeah.
in a year of 2-hour sessions than I learned beating my head against the wall and going back through the maze until I found the right spot. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it was almost like like a realization of going, dude, you've never done what you tell people to do, which is talk to people about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm the first to
Amen.
advise someone to do it,
Amen.
but I'm the last one to do it. It's like, wait a minute.
On that, but first off, again, congratulations. So preparing for this a little bit because Colby, I'd heard of your podcast. I'd listened to it. Fallon,
she was cool.
on
That was
it,
awesome.
and she worked with us at the time.
Sure.
So I listened to that, but I went back and listened to your first couple podcasts, and then you comparing those to the current ones, and it shows growth. I mean, it shows.
Yeah.
And we all have to do that, right?
Right.
And if you do 1,000 of these, I hope you look at episode 900 and compare it to 1,000,
for sure.
and the growth is there.
Well, it was one of those. It still is. I mean, it's just a hobby, but it's like it became a passion. You know what I mean? I thoroughly enjoy, and I guess I just have the ability. I'm curious, so it doesn't matter if you're an author or a fitness coach, or it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Or a write-in candidate for sheriff.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He loves this too.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, he is. He and I, we just.
That was crazy. Yeah. I had no idea that's why he's a write-in candidate. I just assumed I don't know him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a dog in the fight at all. But
same.
When I saw the billboard up saying, write-in Shane Beck, I thought, oh, well, he must have.
Oh, so you did see the billboard?
I did.
Okay. I've been wondering to see. He said it was the digital one?
Yeah.
Okay. He said it was supposed to be going live.
Going up 51 into Forsyth. And, I saw that before I listened to your podcast. Okay. And I'm like, write-in. Well, why is it write-in? And then to hear that he had all the signatures and he just didn't write the page number at the bottom of the page and somebody called that in.
So... That's crazy. So it sounds like he's going to come back. We're confirming, but probably like next week, he's going to come back in here because, dude, there's been a bunch of shit going on.
Okay.
And he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
I got a platform for you.
Absolutely.
He's like, let me make sure of a couple things because I don't want to jeopardize anything. He goes, but I'm pretty sure that everything is public, just not public.
Got it.
And I'll be glad to make it there. I go, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so this went from his first time coming on here is I had never met him. He reached out to me. A buddy had referred, and he's like, I'm kind of doing a campaign. I don't know if you like charge for this. I'm like, nah, come on, let's go, dude.
I hope not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'll get the bill. But so he comes in and he was, I had a I mean, I've never been a huge cop fan, you know what I mean? Sure. Overall, I got some great buddies who are police officers, but definitely not like you're running for sheriff and you want to talk to me.
Right.
And I kind of told him that. He goes, oh, I know you.
Yeah. You're like, oh, shoot, why?
Like, oh, yeah. He's like, I mean, I'm not, I don't care where you've been.
Yep.
I like where you're at.
Yep.
So, and I go, okay.
You respect that.
So he came in, and it was like at the end, I go, man, all right, this is like what politics is, right? Nobody's bashing each other. Dude, it was like 2 months later. And he's like, I want to come back. Like, gloves are off. And it is like, oh, you guys work together. And he's like, yeah, it's my boss. And I can say, yeah, he's like, I get actually mistreated, you know.
Now that he's
like
declared.
Lost a bunch of every privilege you can have as a sheriff outside of just being a deputy. Like I think this last week he was just removed from the SRT team. He was like the teacher of for a while.
Wow.
And I said, what's that about? Can you do it? And can they do that? And he goes, well, I mean, it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's like, now get a lawyer. Now do that. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get a lawyer. No good.
Right?
No good comes from that. But who is the current sheriff, and is he running?
Yes. And he is not. He is fired up.
Have you invited him on?
No. Should I?
You should. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, I'd want to
hear. Because I don't know him.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I told Shane is I go, you're explaining someone to me.
Yeah.
I know him as being like a very cop. And he goes, well, he was a Marine and he's been a lifetime police officer. I go, so there you go. That's the only thing I know.
Who is
Root?
Root. Okay,
yeah.
I thought so.
I knew that he was just like through and through.
Yeah.
That's what you know what I mean? Which, again, I don't know if that's not the perfect credentials for the job.
Exactly. But, I mean, you know, it would be interesting to hear his side of what's going on.
Yeah.
If you have one, it'd be good to have, or at least offer. It'd be interesting whether, you know, Sheriff Root will
it would be cool.
take you up on it.
Because I don't know. Again, I'm kind of going, I have no idea what's going on.
You know, when my wife and I decided to move back home, well, when she decided we were moving back home, everyone thought, all my close friends, families, like, okay, you're going into politics. I went to undergrad, played football, went to Georgetown Law School.
Wait, where'd you go to high school at?
Mount Zion.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
and then you went to
sports. I went to Illinois Wesleyan in Bloomington.
All right.
Georgetown Law School in D.C. So I was out there, worked, you know, at a big firm out there, and
in D.C.
In D.C.
Okay.
So then when my wife and I were high school sweethearts, you know, together through high school, on and off during college. Every time I had to make a decision, like to go to law school, we were broke up. So I turned down anything in the state of Illinois. I'm going to D.C. just to get away. Boom, we get back together. So then we're out there, and I've got to pick a job. And I'm like, we broke up. I said, I'm staying in D.C. I'm never coming home. It'll never happen. You'll never see me. Take the job, we get back together. Well, then we're like, okay, you know, this is stupid. We need to get, you know, married. You know, it's dumb. So we got married, and the agreement, how I understood it, is I was going to transfer to our Chicago office of the big law school. She was going to live in Chicago for an undefined period of time. Then when we wanted to start a family, we would look at options, and I understood that might be closer to home, but I thought, you know, maybe if she saw the lifestyle of a, you know, partner at a big law firm in Chicago, she might be appealing. We got married in June, and we moved back home in August or September. She had it all worked out. She already had talked to the guy who's going to work with, who became my mentor and very close friend.
You're talking about in Chicago?
No.
Oh.
We moved back here.
Oh.
Let me back up.
Oh, I thought you were saying home. I thought you meant from D.C. to Chicago.
She was never going to move to Washington, D.C.
Oh.
So we agreed to live in Chicago.
Gotcha.
I thought that was the agreement. Like, that was the contract going into marriage. We were going to live in Chicago. And she never wanted to be away from home. So her agreeing to move to Chicago was a big deal to me. I'm like, okay, no, It was always planned. I was always coming home. I was the last one to know.
Oh, fair.
We moved home, and in her
Oh, you're
defense,
saying she already was talking to the
she
person
already
you
had it
were going to
figured
work
out.
with before
Here
you
in
knew
Decatur.
who you were.
It was all. It's never been admitted. Like, they won't come, but they both smile.
Like, it's obvious
They
now.
give a smile that something was happening. And that's John Robinson, without a doubt, the single best trial lawyer Decatur, Illinois has ever seen.
Wait, John
Robinson, Remington
Retired now?
litigation. He is not retired.
Or wait.
He still owns a firm. There's a John Robinson that works for the city of Decatur.
Okay, that's the one I'm thinking. He goes to
That's
church
him.
with my parents. That's what I was like, wait
Different
a minute.
John.
Yeah, I'm not picturing this.
This
Okay.
John, farm boy, and then came to the big city, Decatur, and great trial lawyer. Remington had a shotgun that had an exploding barrel.
Okay.
And he had a local client, and they never lost. And then John, at 28, took him to court and got the first verdict against him. Ended up going all around the country and trying cases against Remington over this exploding shotgun. Settled a national class action in his 30s.
He was
Just
killer.
a great guy. So it all turned out to be a blessing. Like, coming home, working with him, great friend, great partner. He and I have been partners forever, and through the ups and downs, and I can't think of a better way for it to work out.
So when you got back here, you go straight to work as an attorney?
I did.
I
yeah.
mean, like, in what kind? Like a family, a criminal, or what is it?
Right. So at the time, it was a firm called Keyhart, Robinson, and Booth.
Okay.
And Mike Keyhart, great local lawyer, medical malpractice lawyer, defense. John represented a number of, we had clients like Caterpillar, St. Mary's Hospital, and then he did plaintiff's work on the side. So he was one of those unique lawyers who did injury work. You just don't sue doctors because you go to the country club with them. That's kind of the rule that John taught me. And I went to work with them, and Ed Booth, that man, he went to Harvard Law School, lived in Decatur, probably one of the smartest lawyers I've ever met in my life, and the most humble lawyer ever. He practiced till, I think, in his 90s. He passed away in the last three or 4 years. But anyway, I was only with them for 6 months to a year, and John Robinson came to me and said, "Hey, you're bringing in a lot more work than what you're being paid. What do you think about starting a law firm?" And I said, "Okay." So
he
invited
buddy.
me, and I was 28. And it was me, so it was, we called it Bolin, Robinson, and Ellis. John Robinson and I owned the firm. T.G. Bolin was a Decatur, he was an estate lawyer, and probate lawyer, and represented everyone in town you could think of that founded this, town, community, all the old names.
Right.
We put him first out of respect. We went and started the firm.
Is that like Jim Bolin's dad?
Yes, it is. Oh. Jim Bolin, Bentley Bolin.
Bentley and Jim. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Susan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So anyway, and we started that small firm, and that was just the three of us in 2004. And we just celebrated 20 years, and now we're at 21, going into 22 years.
Wow.
And right now we have 9 attorneys. We have offices in Sullivan, Monticello, Lincoln. We're opening one in Taylorville. A lot of times what you do with these satellite offices, Sullivan, we have people there fully staffed. The other offices, you're there to meet with clients and go to court. I never thought I would say it, but there actually are not enough lawyers in small communities.
Really?
I know, it's shocking. Like, when I got here, Decatur had way too many lawyers.
Right.
They've retired, and no new lawyers are coming here. I mean, we cannot attract much
Really?
I mean, we get a few,
Right.
and they're great, but we can't get the numbers we need.
But so it's worth it in Taylorville to have a satellite office because you're going to be there enough to where
Absolutely.
there's only so much Starbucks meeting going on.
You got it. Yep. You can right. And you know, so the firm's done well, but so personally though, I have not been practicing law since 2015. So before then, I started out doing all of the local stuff. I represented, most of the developers and banks, and had a great client base. And then I started getting into large personal injury cases, and had a lot of success in that. Then, most notably, I handled a lot of class actions all over the country, and served on leadership committees in billion-dollar cases. I mean, it was high-stakes litigation. It was great, and I was able to bring that work from. I'd go to these meetings with the D.C. lawyers, the New York lawyers, and I think having the background of being out there and being part of that system already helped. I think not knowing what I didn't know helped, because I just kind of
makes you less phased by it, right? You're kind of just going, we're just going to work.
We're here. And so I was able to bring a lot of that work back. And things were going great professionally, a lot of great stuff going on.
And what do you slowly add as you get too overloaded? You slowly add,
exactly,
just like you grow and you need more manpower.
Yep.
Right.
One of the lawyers who'd been with me the longest, Shane Mendenhall. He's now a judge. He ran and he's a judge, and he I hired him because every time he would come home, he's from Mount Zion kid. He would be home, and somehow I'd be taking him to lunch, and I had no idea how. But every time he would, I don't know if he took my secretary like flowers or what he did, but always I'm buying this kid free lunch. Right. And then he finally looked at me. He said, "Do you think I could come work here?" And I was like, "Okay, so that's why we're going all these in."
Oh, cool.
And it was funny at the time. We didn't need a lawyer.
Oh, so you've seen him come up through the ranks and then become
from the very beginning.
Is being a judge a common goal for a lawyer? Or is it like, well, no, it just was for him?
It's different. So like some lawyers, yes, from the very beginning, they're like, I want the gavel, this is what I want to do. I would say in private practice, not as often, because our judges are paid very well, but it can be a pay cut, if you own a firm, but you get the benefits, you get the health insurance, you get a retirement plan. A lot of lawyers don't understand that you don't get any of that. Like, you've got to build it, on your own when you're out in private practice.
Right.
But prosecutors, public defenders, people in court, all the time, being a judge, sure, is something.
Right. Okay.
Shane actually ran for it. Oh. There was an opening, and he came to me and said, I think I'm going to run. And I said, I think you're crazy, but if you, he's a really good people, and I said, well, if you do it, I will support you.
You're like, I think you're crazy for one. Hey, everybody, I want to take a quick second to let you know that the Beyond Business Studio swag store is officially open. Click the link in the description or scan this QR code to get your apparel game on point and rep Beyond Business. We got hats, hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, and everything else. Several logos to choose from. Scan and customize yours today. I also want to shout out the partners who help make Beyond Business possible. First up is Dubby Energy Drink. If you're grinding, creating, training, or just need clean energy without the crash, Dubby is my go-to. No sugar, no spikes, no nonsense. Just focus, endurance, and clarity. Head over to dubby.gg and use code BeyondBiz at checkout to get 10% off your order. That's BeyondBiz. Support the show and fuel the hustle at the same time. Oakwood Screen Printing. These gals are the real deal when it comes to custom apparel. Direct to film, silk screening, embroidering, heat transferring, you name it, they do it. And they don't just put it on clothing, they put it on anything. Whether you're in need of a small custom run or a massive order, Oakwood Screen Printing handles it all. Fast, professional, and top-tier quality. If you've got a brand, a business, a team, or an idea, they'll bring it to life. Check them out at oakwoodscreenprinting.com. And finally, Midwest Lightning Rods, protecting homes, businesses, and critical infrastructures from lightning strikes across the Midwest. This isn't just another contractor, this is decades of experience, code-compliant systems, and real protection where it matters most. When lightning strikes, preparation makes the difference. Learn about how you can become part of the community that's been protected by MLR at lightningstrikes-weprotect.com. As always, when you support these companies, you're supporting Beyond Business. If you haven't done it yet, I urge you to hit that subscribe button right below this post and follow the Beyond Business page on all your social media platforms that you follow. Now, let's dive back into it. Wanting that job? Mm-hmm. Right.
For wanting the job and for wanting to run.
Yeah, all of it. What it takes to get there, and then you got there. Now,
and then you got there. And,
but,
you know.
He's good at it. He likes it.
He's good, and he likes it. And now he is going to be the head over the civil litigation docket, which is what he did for us. So, you know, companies suing companies, class actions, personal injuries. But, yeah, so.
That's cool to see, right? From your standpoint, you're like,
yep.
Oh, yeah.
So he left us to do that, and that's a great compliment. I had another lawyer come up with me, Tim Ty, and when I got sick and stepped out, he was made an offer from the state's attorney's office, and he didn't have any of his own clients. All of his clients were my clients,
Gotcha.
But he did work, and you know, he's got a family, and he came to me, and I said, you know, I'll support you in making the move over. We didn't know what was going to happen with the firm, and you know, it's really interesting. So at that time, so in 2015, just to kind of give you the backdrop, I started getting these terrible headaches. They'd been going on for months, but they got really bad.
And this time you're rocking.
I'm traveling, I'm going.
Yeah.
And
class action galore and just
working 60, 70 hours a week, and you get bad headaches, you have bourbon, and you sleep.
Fight through it.
Get up in the morning, pop
work.
some Tylenol, go to work. And finally, it was actually funny. What I tell people is CrossFit causes brain tumors because I had just started going to CrossFit, and I'd only been 3 times, and they were the worst headaches of my life, which makes sense. You know, you're in there.
You're like, yeah, my whole body feels like my head.
And the third time, so I go and I do CrossFit. So I get up at 5, I go to CrossFit. I come home, I get in bed and lay down, and my wife does, you know, gets the kids off school, and she comes up like, what are you doing? I'm like, my head hurts so bad. And she's like, you're going to the doctor. And I was like, that damn CrossFit. I knew it, you know. So we go. So don't do CrossFit.
The only common,
that's it, right? You know.
Yeah. Stay big. You're fine.
You're good. You're good. So we, you know, MRI found out I had a brain tumor, and at the time, they said it was cancer in the thalamus. And that's, you know, I know enough to know that's not a good thing. Right. So they get me to Barnes the next day. I apparently black out on the table. I think it was from my headaches.
When you were there, you were still having these headaches going.
So bad. Oh. So they do an MRI. They find out I've got so much fluid in the brain. So
that's where the pain's coming from.
Yeah. So they have to drain it and do this stuff. Well, we find out they do a biopsy, and I'll never forget
a tumor in your brain.
Of a tumor in the brain in the thalamus. So I'm at Barnes for 10 days in the beginning. I have 3 surgeries. The third surgery is I had 2 surgeries then. Second surgery was a biopsy, and the doctor said, the minute I get the results, I'll call you. I said, okay. Because he said, I'm not sure if it's cancer, because there's a tumor and a cyst on it, and he's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, I don't know either. You're the doctor. You know, we'll figure it out.
Whatever it is, it hurts.
Whatever it is, it hurts. Well, when they got all that fluid out, I felt like a new person. I'm like, the pressure was gone. So he calls me on April 1st, 2015. And it's at night, and I'd been at the Ball Diamonds, you know, with my kids. I got back, and I'm back to, I want to coach. They're like, you can't coach yet. I'm like, okay. And he says, Chris, he's like, hey, I've got the results here, and I've got great news. It's not cancer. And I said, is this an April Fool's joke? And he literally goes, what's wrong with you? I'm like, well, what are you going to do?
Hit me with what's next.
What are you going to do? You might as well
Right.
make light. So anyway,
That's funny.
I go through this medical journey.
So they still say they have to get this tumor out? Is that kind of how
That's
it
the
works?
problem. So they have to deal with the tumor. It's growing. There's stuff, and 2-3 surgeries later, first they shoot me up with so much radiation, I turn into the Incredible Hulk. And a year later, I get thyroid cancer, but they're like, that's not related. I'm like, that seems awfully convenient, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they had to do it, so it doesn't really. And if you have to have cancer, thyroid cancer, not that big a deal. You feel a lot better.
It's a great one, huh? Great one to have.
It's a good one to have because once they take care of it, you feel so much better. Last surgery, though.
Where are they going in?
They're right there. I've got a
they're going in through
in the brain. Yep, right there. Last surgery, though, they use a laser device, to burn the tumor, and it overcooks the tumor, damages the thalamus, which leads to this permanent condition called thalamic pain syndrome. And it's only relevant because, and I'll bring it into kind of the business and the journey. So this is a chronic pain condition. Like I've got nerve pain if you imagine a line down the middle of your body, left side's in chronic nerve pain, right side's not. So thankfully gabapentin helps, but I have to take so much of it, it'll like knock you out.
Right.
The tremors are really bad. Muscle relaxers help, they knock you out. I have to take opioids. It's one of the few conditions opioids works for. No one wants to take opioids, right? These are all the bad things.
Buff shit.
But that was beginning of 2017. I was diagnosed the last week of 2016. 2017 to 2022 was this winding journey of, because you would think after all of that, like you would figure out, okay, you've got another shot. You got to get your priorities right. But the pain and then the loss of your whole identity, which was running and operating this law firm. And, to me, I couldn't be a lawyer if I couldn't go to court. And I can't represent a client with dealing with his or her pain if I'm more worried about my own pain. Right. I mean, that's how I looked at it. Because some people are like, well, you seem pretty good. I'm like, I've got like moments. Like I've got about 6 hours a day where I'm rocking, or I can go full pretty hard for one day, but then I've got to sleep for a day type thing. It's kind of how the pain currently. But you find yourself going through this, like, I don't think I was feeling sorry for myself. And, but I tried to make a joke out of, all of it, that it's not real. And all I cared about was being there for the kids, right? So I'm there. I drive them to school every morning. I pick them up, and I'm going with my wife to Target every day. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to. Well, then you start to realize this isn't being sexist because a man or a woman, but a man, you've got to have purpose. Like you have got to do something beyond, because the goal of what we're trying to do for our people, our little people, you train them up to set them to go and find their own purpose and their own journey. And if and this is, weekly counseling for 3 years, Dr. David Wentz just retired. He's a godsend. Your purpose can't be them, in that that's like part of your purpose, and it's to make them the best people they can, but they're their own people. Like you've got to give them the ability to make their own choice. And that's what I think happens a lot and my wife's going through this. She's been a stay-at-home mom, and our baby's about ready. She's a senior, and she's already, with every child that leaves, I see it, like hit her, like, right, okay, now what about me? And I'm like, well, you're going to find, your purpose. You're a teacher. You like working with kids,
Yeah.
And so what I really have learned is that through this entire process is you've got to figure out how to step back. You got to look at, okay, what can I control? What can I control? I can't control any of this. Like, all I can do, though, I can do things every day that's going to make me better able to serve the greater good. And those things, like I take an ice bath every morning. I make sure I exercise every day. I don't drink. Because it's inflammation. And I tell you what, alcohol, if you're battling any type of pain, mental or physical, alcohol will work, and it will work great, and then it won't work. And then
until it don't.
And then when it doesn't, there's nothing there to hang on to, because
Right.
you've been grasping something that, it's numbing the pain. I mean, I'm a firm believer that all addiction is looking for a way to put out pain. It's some type of pain.
Right. Doesn't have to be physical. It can just be something.
Physical, right. It can be mental. I'm not enough. I'm too much.
So how hard is that? I mean, I guess it's kind of what you're talking about, but is it just sheer dig deep, or was it God, or what makes you be able to go, okay, they might not be my only purpose, but even if it's kind of half-assed putting on an act, because rightfully so, you do kind of feel sorry for yourself. You do kind of feel like the universe or God or whoever decided to turn his back for a minute. Like, hey, man, I'm trying to help people too. Yeah. So how does that, I mean, was it a conscious battle, or were you like, no, I was pushing through for the young people I was trying to build a legacy for, and that was kind of it? Or?
Nope. Great. So in the beginning, it was pushing through, it was smiling, it was pretending everything was okay, without believing or accepting any of that at all. And that facade works until it doesn't work.
Right.
And for me, I mean, I had to hit bottom where, I almost lost a lot that was very important to me. And it was that wallowing in self-pity and, what about, look at what I've been through. And at the end of the day, it's, you've been through it, but guess what? The sun's going to rise tomorrow, and you're either going to make the most out of those 24 hours or not, but it's going to set too, and what's happening to me isn't going to influence that. And it really came down from where I was. You asked about faith, and faith became a huge component for me in that I had to finally start believing when I said, "Thy will be done." And I had to finally start accepting the fact that I needed God or a higher power to help me when I felt like I couldn't do it on my own. And, Robert Kennedy, RFK Jr., some people love him, some hate him. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah, I've listened to him a lot too. He's a smart guy.
And what he talks about a lot is when he struggled through addiction, that he didn't believe what he was saying when he said the Serenity Prayer over and over again. He said, I didn't believe it.
Just reciting.
But I said it over and over and over again. And then that led into a belief, because you slowly start hearing it and kind of letting yourself believe, right? You start taking away that logic part of your brain that's saying...
becomes your truth.
It becomes your truth.
Right.
And then it's something to hold on to. So faith, and then, I mean, there's a principle in the philosophy of Stoicism called amor fati, and it's love of fate. And the idea is that it's not only acceptance of fate, but it's this notion that I love fate no matter what happens. I don't want something to happen. I want whatever is going to happen. And it's so hard to wrap your brains around.
Right, because obviously choices affect what happens.
Exactly.
But still, I do get what you mean. I mean, I do understand. Yeah.
And if you meditate on it, every night, which I did, then it does start to open up this idea that you kind of step away from yourself and look at it from up high instead of down here in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's easier to kind of say, okay, I want whatever's going to happen. And I tell myself that all the time. I think with gratitude, and gratitude journaling was huge for me about all of the good things that have come from where I'm at. And
you're 10 years you've been dealing with this. Right?
10 years. And you know, one of those things, we're going through a little shakeup at the office. We had a couple lawyers leave to start their own firm, which that's great. You know,
is that popular too? Is it kind of like salon? A couple girls think they're good. They go start their own salon.
Thing, right? Exactly.
Yeah. I'm a salon kid. My mom grew up in it.
Right. You know. Right. I mean, and
everybody's leaving and they fill it up. Yeah.
And you're right. And you know, I thought it's so funny.
But that's also Nick, a feather in your cap if they go and do
it.
Well,
is
right.
It is the best thing for the legacy of our firm to be able to point to the success stories of lawyers who've been in our firm.
Obviously, you don't want them taking calls that would come to you.
You would rather not.
It's
part of the deal. Yeah. And they're they're very good because they worked for us. So I'm not going to be like, oh man, those guys suck. You know,
if they were here, they'd be your lawyer.
They'd be the person.
Yeah,
and
fair.
But that it's funny if you would have asked me in 2015 when the brain tumor was diagnosed, or even 2016, or all the way to probably 18. What's going to happen, Chris, with me and the health? I would have told you that the firm will never make it. It cannot survive without me there. I bring in the most clients. I am, me,
right.
The whole ego thing.
But was it accurate, all the stuff you were saying, except for that it can't survive without you?
It was all accurate, except for it can't survive without me.
Right. So, yeah.
Because
the ego was there.
This
is my ship.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit what's on the side.
There can be. Come on, John, was older. He's 70. He didn't want to have to be there working 60 hours a week at that point anymore.
So what makes it be able to work without the golden child, man?
A good question. No,
you're like,
people are crazy.
Is it working? Right.
No, and that's one of the things looking back on I'm most proud of. We had great people, our staff. I mean, our staff was amazing. They pulled the lawyers. They were smacking the lawyers around like, get up. You got clients. You've got all these files. We got to go. We're still going to get new files. We're going to. And, I think when Colby and I talked about it, when I think about it, it proves that we built a business, right? A business is something that exists without the individual, right? If it's just the individual, it's not a business. I mean, I
heard that was a job with a shitty boss.
Yeah, that is a great way, and poor pay often. Yeah. No, you're
the dumb boss because he's still
he's still doing it. But I mean, really, and I didn't see it at the time how that was something to be so proud of. Honestly, it almost was. Funny story. They have that where they vote for best lawyer and all that stuff, and I was only finally named the best lawyer in Decatur, Illinois, in 2023. I had been practicing law for 8 years. The whole time I'm practicing, I was runner-up 5. I never won in 2023.
You shook the right hand at the country club one night, and you were
they all put the votes in. So but
so you don't practice at all.
No, I don't. So
do you dabble and off? Do you do anything, or is it still your business?
So okay,
yeah, it's a business. So,
yep.
Yeah.
So when it kept going, at one point when I was honest during all of this counseling I talked about, I actually admitted the fact that kind of hurt. It made me think lesser of myself, that the world didn't stop. But it was such an important lesson, and it was more important to admit it.
Sure.
And be able to say, and then look at how irrational of a thought that is, and be able to examine it and take it apart.
Oh, no, I would have thought exactly like you just, I was wondering that, but I just assumed it was going, what's even more of a pat on the back is I must have built something powerful if I'm on the sidelines and I'm collecting a check.
And doesn't that show everything in life is how you look at it?
For
right?
sure.
And that's exactly right. That's what.
Yeah, the third time you can always look at it differently.
I'd like to smack myself back then and be like, what are you doing? Like,
how about attaboy?
Good job, what you and John did. But okay, so to the practice. So John Robinson and I own the firm, and I still own it. What I do for the firm is I'm still pretty good at bringing in clients. A lot of people will still call me, reach out to me, people I know in the community through the years.
Yeah.
And then I'll refer them to attorneys at the firm. But no, I don't practice. Now, what I have done, which has been, it's not been good, but it will be good, right? All things will go where they're supposed to go. With the shakeup we've had, I've had to kind of come in and help from a business standpoint, which has been kind of neat because that thing's been a little bit, I won't say on autopilot, because we've had, we always have an office manager for staff and a managing attorney. Well, both of them left. So,
it's important parts.
They're gone, right?
Yeah.
So then we have a new managing lawyer. Her and I are working together, and it's great. We have not filled the office manager part yet, and I'm having to actually look at the business again and go, well, wait, what is that expense? Why, and
kind of cool.
It is, and it's what's been the hard part. It's shown me what I can do in that, I still have. I think I still add value. It's also shown me, like, when I was there Monday meeting with people for a few hours, I slept all day Tuesday. I mean, I just couldn't, I had to lay.
Zaps you.
Zaps. I mean, it just, I'll get home and from, like, doing this, like, it will zap me. And it's probably that the damage in the brain and, all the so effort that goes into thinking, I'm guessing.
I don't even necessarily want to get back on your surgery.
No, it's fine.
But did they mess up?
Well, the product that was used was a non-FDA, now I know, non-FDA approved device. It was
the thing they used to burn it, or what?
To burn it. And look, I think that device for someone who has a glioblastoma, for instance, makes a ton of sense. I think for the type of tumor I had, given that it was non-cancerous and given that the issue was this cyst growing on it, I think it was not, in hindsight, it was not the proper way to go.
In their hindsight, because you didn't know what the hell.
No, of course I didn't know. Yeah. Right. And in everyone's collective hindsight, it was not.
So, right, I mean, I guess that's what I'm asking. Would it end up being a legal issue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that's a pretty freaking big deal.
Yes, although you run into companies that create devices like that not being overly well funded.
Oh, yeah. They'll go under like that.
Possibly.
Or already did.
Right? Yeah, no, I don't think. So, that's something, we are contemplating kind of, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Tough stuff it's been. But I've had, I've got great friends and obviously lawyers and, we're navigating it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I guess at the end of the day, it does go, well, nothing's going to change what happened, but there's always the life is over here too.
Yeah.
Finances
and
always.
and one thing I would tell, and I'd encourage anyone. So do you know the name Larry Foster at all?
No.
Okay. So Larry was a long-time life insurance and like high-end life insurance and disability guy. And, Larry sold me a firm-wide disability policy, and he sold me a personal policy. And I was, 20, 30 maybe. And I remember I was paying these premiums on this personal policy, and I called him and I'm like, Larry, yeah, I'm fine. Like, nothing's going to happen to me. I'm canceling. This is stupid. I'm tired of the money. You know, I'm paying a huge amount a month. It's stupid. And he was like, you know, your odds of getting hurt or blah, blah. I'm like, no, you know, I said, just cancel it. Well, Larry, being Larry and a guy who, like, you know, we should be sending a Christmas gift every year, didn't. He was like, no, like, I'm not going to do it. And I never followed up again. Right. I never followed up, never anything. And, you know, lo and behold, if you are struck down at, you know, before you're 40, it's certainly nice to not have to worry about a portion of the income being replaced. So, I mean, I'm very, very blessed that.
Right.
And, you know, I've also, you know, I would, if I could, someone asked me, you know, do you want to go back and practice law? I'd give my left arm to practice law again, which is kind of a joke because I give my left arm away now anyway.
Sure.
It just shakes. But, of course, I mean, I would love to do them or anything, but.
It's the pain, right? That's still where you're at as you go. There's no focusing. There's no giving my all because I'm going to zap myself.
You can't do it. And the type of meds. I mean,
yeah.
But you know, I'm hopeful we're getting the right people hired at the firm, and I'm very confident the firm's going to be there 10 years, 20 years. Yeah, it'll keep going.
So I know you said fate is where you're at with it, right?
Yeah.
But is there anything moving forward with you? Is there a solution to your pain?
No,
just keep it under control the best you can.
Yep. And you know, I've talked to a lot of great doctors who've looked at it, and they're like, it's just too deep, and where the damage is. But you know, they're such great people. I'll give a shout out, Dr. Jeff Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I know. I love Jeff.
So I had never, you know, I had never seen him before. You know, I knew him. And then I went in. Somebody's like, you know, you ought to go talk to.
He's like,
hello. To Jeff. Oh yeah, no, and he's got so many stories, and we used to have a great time. But anyway, I met with him once, and you know, he's sitting there like, oh, are you kidding? Like, as I'm telling him the story, and that night, or no, it was the next night, he went to Mexico. He's out of town, calls me and says, hey, I've been researching thalamic pain syndrome, and you know, have you looked at this? Have you looked at that? What about doing this? And, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, we've looked at those. And but there's one thing I hadn't before, but I'm like, they're, you know, great people who want to help, which really, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what has really propelled me. And I would like to talk about Old King's Orchard Community Center. So in 2021, the largest benefactor there is longtime friend and client of mine, Tom Koa, wanted to make a large gift of
Nope.
Got it?
I'm
okay.
Stretching it out.
Get
closer to you.
Of property and a monetary contribution to the community center. I don't know if you know where it's at. We actually have 2 locations now. Our main community center, it's behind Grace United Methodist Church. It's on Church Street, 815 North Church.
I know what you're talking about.
And we just had 2 new basketball courts put in. It's great. Anyway, he made a large donation. He wanted to make the donation, but he wanted me to be involved to kind of watch over it and see it. At the time, it was the last thing I wanted to do. Turned out to be, I mean, I always tell people that I needed the community center as much as it needed me.
Oh,
and
that was your purpose, huh?
Yeah, it is. It is turned into our executive director, Devon Joyner, is like we joke, my brother from another mother.
Right.
You'd be able to figure that out. Devon is, I mean, phenomenal. We are trying to work with the kids that other organizations don't want to work with. They're the kids who they may have gotten in trouble with the law. We've got programming where if they've gotten in trouble with the law before they're sent away to juvenile justice, they get in with us and we do life skills and we work with them. And it's real intensive programming.
These are teens.
We've got programs to try to curb violence, working with people who've been touched by violence.
What is this organization?
Yeah, so it's called Old Kings Orchard
Okay.
Community Center.
Okay.
OKO, Old Kings Orchard. We also have a location on Orchard Street, right
Okay.
behind the mental or the county health department. Is that
Yeah.
what that is. I don't go.
I am familiar now that you're saying it because I'm trying to think. Like maybe Antoine McClellan was posting something about it. I didn't know you were involved with it.
So
Yeah.
I am the board chair now for, I think this is year 4, and I've told them it's going to be the last year because I do think it's important. But we've taken the organization now to where we are over $1 million a year in grant funding. We started this great program called OKO Green, where we take our largest group was 12, but generally we take 10 young people. We employ them all summer mowing yards. They do yard work for seniors in the Catholic Charities program. They do all the yards around the Old KO community. They come and do volunteer work and food handouts, and we get to work with them. And you talk to these young people,
And they're getting a paycheck.
They're getting a paycheck.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when you hear where like what they have been through,
It's probably heavy
it
for
puts
their age, man.
puts everything in perspective. I mean, it makes you. I mean, I think my worst day with pain. Well, I'm still not worried if I'm going to eat today.
Right.
I'm still not worried if there's going to be a gunshot right outside my window. I'm not worried about this gang wanting to get me because I won't join their gang.
Right.
I mean It's so heartbreaking. But then you get to talk to them, and they're just normal kids.
Right.
And they just want something better. And
that's so cool.
it is amazing. I mean, I love those kids. I mean, they are, and it's tough. We're trying now to figure out ways to stop the violence. And I mean, we are involved. The number of things that are about to happen in this community that we get there early and work on. By we, I mean our advocates.
Sure.
These people are phenomenal. I mean, they work. Will Smith, we call him Turk. He was a supervisor out at ADM and left it to come back and work with this population because he had done jail time in South Side of Chicago and grew up in that environment. And like we try to reach these kids before they get in trouble. We talked with the Decatur Police Department. They give us names of kids.
Oh.
We try to intervene. We're trying to stop, but
Yeah, because it's crazy right now.
and so I asked. We did. We actually have a podcast. The Minority Report. I think they've done like 3 or 4 of them. But
Okay.
the scariest thing, I asked one of the young people. I said, Why the shooting? Like, what's going on? And I'm not kidding you, Nick. He said, now in the streets, you don't get credit unless you shoot, and you really don't get credit unless you hit somebody. And I said, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm like, he said, if there's a beef, like a social media thing or someone disses your girl, if you don't go out and answer with gunfire, I said, well, can't you just go?
No boxing no more. No one can get slapped around.
You can't go. There's no. It's a video game. These kids are so numb to reality.
Yes.
It's like it's not real. And I tell people, and we've been going out and talking to donors in the community, and I won't call them important people, but people who can move the needle. I'm like, look, we can keep driving by and keep moving more to Forsyth and more to Mount Zion, but it's going to catch up with us.
Right.
I mean, it's going to keep moving. We're not going to run from this problem.
No.
And that's what we're trying to do. And, someone asked me, well, are you making a difference? I said, well, I'll be honest. A lot of times it feels like you're pissing in the ocean.
Sure.
But I'm reminded, I think it was Mother Teresa said, you may not reach the person that changes the world, but you might reach the person who reaches the person who changes the world. And, you got to keep that.
Sure.
But, I would tell anyone who's going through anything, or even if they think they're not going through anything and they're at the top of their game, you got to dig in. I mean, you got to give. You got to find a purpose in this community because, at the end of the day, our purpose, all of our collective purpose is to give back and help humanity.
Yes.
It's not to hoard. It's not to just protect my own people. I mean, your own people certainly are first. I mean, you put them in order however you want. If you want God, family, whatever. But we all owe it. I mean, and you're not going to, in my opinion and how I feel, you're not going to live a fulfilled life if you're not living for the greater good and living for other people. And I wasn't doing that for a long time. I mean, I coached sports and, I was busy and I thought I was working, but, I
busy is different than caring about giving.
It is.
Yeah.
And even when, I was a chair of the United Way board and, it was great and I felt it, but I look back on that time, can I be honest and say I wasn't checking a box more than was my heart in it?
Right.
But heck, even if it's just checking a box or writing a check or whatever
you have to do it.
You've got to do it.
Yeah.
I think.
No. I think it's really important. And I think it definitely matters. That perspective, though, is really interesting. I wondered because I'm like, man, I don't see anybody on the news for just getting beat up. Or do they not put that on the net? It's like, well, no, because there ain't nobody fighting.
No.
That's just crazy. Not that I would want people to fight, but there's a little bit to say for going, hey, man, accountability.
You got it. I mean, yes.
Young men doing what they do. You know what I mean?
Right. Going out and solving it. And, most men, if they get into a fight, I know in my experience, but it was different back then, you end up, after the fight, you shake hands and hug
it's all
and
good.
You drink a beer.
Good one.
Yeah, exactly. It gets it out.
Yeah, it does.
And we're trying different programs.
But who sets this? I guess that's it. Is I always blame, the assumed, I'm a single mom and I don't need a man to help raise my kids and blah, blah, blah. And we turned out to a bunch of kids who haven't been raised by a man and it's like, well, maybe that's not it. They're getting raised by social media regardless of who's at home. They're going to do that.
Yes.
There's nothing saying that these dudes doing the shooting don't have parents at home that give a shit.
Well,
you know what
correct.
I mean? I mean, sometimes that's the case.
No.
Other times it's like...
We can bring in the parents of some who have shot and been shot, and they are there, and they are doing their best.
So it's not always on them.
Often it is a single mom, but there are times with dads involved.
Yeah.
But I think your first instinct, the first instinct is correct, that a large part of what's happening is a breakdown of the family unit. I mean, it just simply is. And Devon and I talk about it, and I said, well, what happened? He talks about when he was young and first started that grandmas would whip the boys with the spoon, and they knew not to mess with grandma.
That's right.
Well, now the grandmas are, early 30s.
Going to the club.
Yeah, I mean, and they're, everybody wants to be friends with each other.
Yeah, it's different.
Social media, for sure, and these cultural influences, and they're just numb. They don't have, and I don't want to group everyone together, but a lot of it has to do with no self-worth. Like they don't think their life is worth
If you're comparing, your comparison to everything is like we would compare to a movie star back in the, you know what I mean? But everything you look at is a different movie star, except for they're not. They just look like it,
Only, and I don't know. I was listening on the way here to a podcast, and it was Elon Musk on Moonshot talking about that, he apparently truly believes this, that like within 10 years, we're going to have more humanoid robots and we're going to have humans. I'm like, that seems pretty ambitious. But even if you think it's 20, he's like, jobs are going to be optional. Like we're literally going to be able to make and have anything we want.
Right.
And then it's, well, then what? And he's like, oh yeah, it's going to be a shitstorm in the beginning. He's like, it's going to be turmoil. And I'm literally like, I've got a son who's a junior in college, a daughter a freshman. I'm like,
they're going to see this.
I wouldn't want to be coming out of school right now.
Right.
I mean, the tasks that are being taken away. And,
It's basically going, which part of Elon's company would you like to go work for?
Right. If he take you.
Yeah, right.
You have a robot.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Right. He can create you.
It's crazy.
Someone better than you.
Man, I don't know.
It's cool. I mean, so I'm like, I hate my phone and also have to have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
So
love it.
whatever.
I mean, it's amazing.
I love that I can sit on the beach and work.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
From anywhere in the world.
I remember, and you can probably remember this, when you had BlackBerries, and you could first send emails. I mean, I was telling my wife, look how important I am. Yeah. Like I am. And then you had to respond like immediately.
So they knew.
So everyone had to know that everyone else knew they were working all the time.
Right.
And now it's like,
and you had the sound, the mail chime would go.
What are we doing? Like what? It's human nature, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, I don't know. I think our expectation, but that is it, right? I accomplish more for sure in a 10, 11 hour day than I did 5 years ago because I'm sometimes, I'm probably not supposed to, but I'll work as I drive too.
Sure.
I'm getting multitasking.
Yeah, self-driving.
But it goes, wait a minute. I'm not really accomplishing more.
No, it seems like you're just doing more.
I'm just doing more.
You're sending more emails.
Yeah, but it's like I got nothing more done. I was doing just fine whenever you had to be like, catch me on the landline at 8 in the morning or till 5.
Yeah, and then you actually had hours. And, I always try to tell Lori, I'm like, create boundaries. And they're like, well, how the hell, how? Like, well,
you can.
Just create them. Like, don't have these. We've got a young lawyer, and she's like, okay, 5 o'clock, I'm with my daughter. I've got a young daughter. I only have once, and I mean, God bless her, and I'm so proud of her. She's like, I will not answer emails. I will not check it.
Like,
she said, when I put her to bed at like 8 or 9, I'll look at it again. I'm like, well, yeah, you probably need to do that, but okay, and it's great. And that's what I remember when we had when we had little ones. I'd work. I'd come home. I always said I didn't move to Decatur to not coach, baseball, football, soccer, basketball. Have dinner with family, put the kids to bed, work till 2. I mean, just what we had to do. But I am optimistic about the future. I'm just cautiously optimistic. I think it's one of those things. It's going to end up a lot better. Right. It's just going to be. It's going to be rough, I think, to get there. I currently am just so big on, especially we're slower paced here than obviously this is kind of what makes it good. Mm-hmm. But I know a whole lot of business owners, and I mean, I'm probably like maybe 15% of them are taking advantage and jumping in on this AI situation. And I'm going, you really need to go on vacation and dive in for 2 weeks and master this shit because it's very, I mean, to me, in my experience anyway, I mean, I'm eating it up and there's going to be people really upset that they did. Well, no, they're going to be paying a company that I might fucking launch. You got it. Yeah, no, I'm with you. To help, prompt basically for AI because it's not magic, but it's pretty magical. It is. Well, so I can't type, and not being able to type has been such a holdback. So I was telling my kids about ChatGPT a month before it came out. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "This so you've been on it? Oh, on it nonstop. Just kick it. I can talk to it. It can type. I can send stuff out. I can, I can mess around with it. I think it's great. But to your point about business implementation, the biggest encouragement I tell my kids, any kid, any young person, any business owner, spend the time learning it. You're gonna. It's like anything else. It's going to cost you time in the beginning, but the efficiencies it is amazing. It's not perfect, but man, it's sure getting really good. Oh, it is. Like weekly, it seems like. Well, their update, you can see it now. It's I think 5.4 or something like that. To where it's like, okay, something changed again. It got even better. And I like doing. So I'll do something in like ChatGPT, then I'll put it in Grok, then I'll put it in Gemini, and compare them and look at them. Pretty similar. They are different ones have their own unique.
Okay.
Grok's the best if you want to talk to it and have personality because it is hysterical.
That's what I've heard. When Elon was on Rogan, and that's
Yes.
the first time I was introduced to it. But the problem is, and it's not really a problem, but man, ChatGPT has a really good memory of what I have going on.
It's got all your stuff already. So then it's really annoying if you go in the other one and you're like, how do you not know this?
Yeah, how do you exactly?
But like me and doing all of this, nonprofit stuff and grant writings, being able to do that now,
dude.
it has been a game changer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I tell people if you don't know what you're going to do and you're young, you should go be a plumber because you've got that go work in a trade right now because I don't know, a lot of anything that's repetitive work, like
It's
Elon
done.
said, if you're not physically moving an atom, AI can already do it better.
Right.
Like if you're not moving dirt, it can do it better. Now, companies are going to be slow to implement it and they'll hire you, and I think his point is well taken. It's like for instance, the first AI law firm that opens in Decatur or in any town that says, look, I'm a lawyer, but I'm going to use AI to draft and do everything. I will proof it. Your costs are going to be reduced, in half. Mm-hmm. They're going to start stealing the market. And then the firms that haven't started doing it.
So do you start thinking about how to implement that?
We are using it as much as we can within the boundaries of the ethical rules right now
Well,
in
what's
terms
cool
of
is
legal research.
Okay. I would say it'll even give you the point, where it gets its references.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, so that's key, right?
Yep, and there are so in the law world, there's a database. LexisNexis has every case ever created. They have an AI tool you can buy. You can describe your fact pattern, describe the case.
It will pull up other cases.
And it will pull them up so much faster. Now, again, not perfect. The lawyer has to read it, but it'll get you.
It's a hell of a lot of legwork.
3/4 of the way there. Yeah, I mean, it will do a lot of the stuff. But then the problem, like I've told my son, when he's like, well, maybe I'll go to law school. I'm like, hey, that's great. When they used to need 10 lawyers on a case, by the time you're out of law school, they're going to need 4 because that's what's going to happen.
Right. Yes.
Because they'd be dumb not to.
Fair. Yeah, because you have the equivalent of infinite times 4 already.
Smarter than all the lawyers lined up together right there. I mean, it is remarkable, and it's fun to watch. And then, I don't know if do you know Brett Adcock? Have you heard that name?
Brett Adcock. Yeah, why do I know that name?
Okay, so he graduated from Central A&M. He's the founder of a company called Figure AI. So he is he grew up in, I think, Assumption.
Okay.
His family, Brian Adcock, was here for a long time. Anyway.
How old is he,
He is 30.
Oh, okay. No, he's younger then. Okay.
I mean, he may not even be 30.
Oh, shit.
He's worth, last I saw on Forbes, $1.8 billion. 2 years ago, he sold eVTOL, like those, the helicopter taxis. He started one of those. And then he's like, I'm going to create humanoid robots. And he is ahead of Optimus and Tesla right now, and the design, everything, right now, Figure AI. It's unbelievable to look at. Yeah,
so what what is he just sells the product?
Well,
is that how he sold a company?
Yet. Well, he built the company,
gotcha.
and I think it's valued currently at $36 billion.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
How cool.
Super cool.
We make some smart people around here in the cornfields.
A few. All of them are at ADM, I think.
So, will you stay? I mean, will you sell out? Will you stay a part of your company because it's your company? I mean, or you just run it like a business from here on, or is your goal eventually? Are you one of them that no? Me and the wife are going to go find a beach somewhere and come back on the holidays and see family or whatever. What's your goal?
So,
or do you already got a place somewhere warm?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. Law firms are difficult to sell like other businesses, but they can be sold.
Okay.
They have to be sold to other attorneys. Our plan, so we have two of our 3 kids are going to school at St. Louis University. The third is going to Mizzou.
Okay.
So we're going to have all 3 in Missouri. our perfect world, our kids would pick somewhere and they'd live within like 2 hours of each other and we'd go move by them, wherever that is.
Right.
I do think, though, more and more, if you'd asked me a few years ago, I'd said we won't be here long term. And that was based on, I think, I don't know, weather. I don't know if you asked me at that time. But now as I reflect on it, I mean, I've got so many close friends and relationships, the guys I hunt with, the guys I play pickleball with, the guys
Your whole life.
My whole life.
Yeah.
Family is here. So I don't know. In terms of selling, I would like to see the law firm continue on, and I am
you're young.
At some point.
You got plenty of time to watch it grow and flourish. Yeah.
At some point, I think the kid lawyers will come up and say, hey, we'd like to own it, and I'd be great.
When you're 70, you might be like, hey, don't go start your own. Just ante up.
Right.
Grab this and let's go.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So what, aside from, I don't even have to ask that. Never mind.
No.
I was going to ask what, like, one of your toughest challenges is right now.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I guess I do want to know. I mean, you've been dealing with what you're dealing with for several years. Is it normal to you now? Or is it like, no, it sucks every day and you can't get used to it sucking?
Yeah, I'd say every day it sucks. Every day getting used to it sucking. You get more and more used to it. I would say the biggest challenge that's a really, really good question. I mean, what's going on at the office right now, but like, I'm not the long-term answer to that. I'm just kind of helping the people make the right calls. For me, I think it's making sure that I'm staying motivated to do the stuff that I know works. Like, for instance, I don't know if you do cold plunges or what. Every morning, it is terrible. I mean, and every morning I have a conversation with myself that, okay, I'm not going to do it. Like today, I don't need to, like when it's 20 below and it's snowing, like, well, I don't really need to do that. But I know it reduces inflammation. I know I'll feel better. So I do it, right? And I want to make sure that that challenge is there. And that's the one that keeps me up at night, I guess. And making sure I keep pushing myself.
Right.
Because once I stop, anyone stops, they quit moving, it's over. When I stop, I mean, it goes really quick, like really, really quick.
Dude, I don't have any more questions for you. I just think, I just want to say, man, really admirable the way you're able to mindset shift your situation. Also agree, like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I could be sad and cry about it, but to be able to almost, your situation's like really just inspiring because it is one of those, you think your day sucks? Could have your whole left side of your body fucking hurt right now.
Right. No, for sure.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. You seem like, for a guy who, in your description is, is at 30% or what it used to be or whatever, you seem like you're on fire and you know what I'm saying? It's really just admirable.
Well, hey, I really, really appreciate that. In a way, and I really mean this, I am more on fire now than I was before all this happened. And I mean, it really goes to, at the end of the day, that, the battle is in your mind. And to the extent you're able to kind of reframe and find what to be grateful for and find, positive things.
Yeah.
It is. And when I think about the future and, what I want to do and, helping people, I had someone else ask me that the other day, and something that there's a lot of business owners here. And this is an important point, I think, to make to your people who don't realize the value of the business that they have built to the outside markets. And we have recently been involved with some very large private equity purchases, and just a lot of small business owners who are putting in the grind and doing the work. And if they own an electrical business, an HVAC business, a plumbing, and I think private equity is evil and like Satan. But, if you're 60 and your kids don't want to run the business and you've worked your ass off, they'll pay you a lot more than what you could ever imagine for it. And the only reason why I think it's important that people understand that, and I wanted to throw it out, is that, you know, in our town, I think sometimes we don't, we think because of where we're from and it's a small town and no, I'm just doing this or all I'm doing is tying some wires or it's not. No, it's a big deal, man.
Right.
If you're a business owner and you're doing it, it's a big deal. And
not to mention, if you've been doing it for years, which kind of equates success in a lot of circles.
Absolutely. And people, like, I've talked to people and they're like, well, you know, I've got this small business. I'm like, no, you know, in Decatur, a buyer may look at it and go, yeah, you know, I'd give you $1 million. I think there's $6 million out there. And
right.
this, because I think we undervalue just how great a lot of what the Midwest has to offer really is. Work ethic, business, the way we treat people. And I don't know. That's something I thought about coming in here. I just want to make sure that business owners who, you know, are kind of like, well, I don't know why I'm doing this. Well,
don't sell yourself short.
You're doing a lot. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The grind ends up being for something.
Yeah,
the same thing you thought when you started the company. It's still there.
It is there.
You just get lost.
And it gets lost sometimes. You know, we all look around and we get kind of down on things because anytime you're in a population center that's not growing, it's easy to be down about it. Right? And it doesn't have to be that way. We can just make better what we've got. And that's what a lot of things, like you look at Colby's company, you look like what he's doing a clean cut, Taylor Dietz. And I mean, those guys are out and they are killing it and growing
and killing it.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's still a lot of good people here.
And in their minds, they're going, both of them actually said, oh, I'm like, you guys expanding? It's like, we ain't even tapped this market.
Yeah.
And it's like, fair.
Yeah,
let's go.
I love it. I love it when they tell me that.
Yeah, well, so oddly enough, and it's I'm in something completely different, but
yeah,
I have a contracting company. I worked for it for several years, and in 2016, I bought it, a lightning protection installation company.
I saw that. I didn't know what that was. I assumed it was lightning protection.
Yeah. So, well, we've done, I guess, like the hospitals in Richland here, some Tate and Lyle or ADM stuff, but mostly U of I is where we're at.
Okay.
And in-state work, like we got this Capital North. We do all the stuff. We're kind of the only ones who do it.
Okay.
It was a 100-year-old company.
What do? You put like a lightning rod at the top?
And run cables all the way to ground, makes it so nowadays, and 10 years ago, what the shift was when everything was relying on a computer network.
Yeah.
They started needing what we were doing.
Oh, yeah, because it'd fry the whole building.
Yes.
You don't put these up during storms, do you?
No.
Good.
No, we'll take the rain days off.
Yeah,
at least I don't put them up at all. But
Right.
If they want their check, they might.
Yeah.
No, but so we're a union company, so we pull off the local bench of electrical union wherever we're at.
Yeah.
And what was I saying? Oh, so after one of the things over the last year, it was like how it went as I bought the company. I'm going to make this a short story.
No, it's fine.
It did better than I thought. I didn't really know I was purchasing it, so I didn't know how it was going to go. I just knew it was making money because I was running it before I bought it.
Yep.
And so it did well, and I wanted to do something else. And so I started Aerial Elite Solutions, a drone service provider.
It's awesome.
Basically, I seen all the wind turbines and solar fields, and I go, I got to get in.
Yeah.
I got to get in. I don't want to build them, but I got to get in on something.
Yeah.
And so that company has not gone how I hoped.
Okay.
Because I'm competing, and I didn't look into this enough, is my competition are global companies.
Sure.
These are companies that start off $40 billion that they don't have to pay back.
Of course. All owned by BlackRock.
And and they don't even own a drone.
Yeah.
They just now will hire me.
Okay.
That's all they have is subs everywhere around the world.
Yeah.
I kind of built my portfolio from being the guy around here who could do a lot of stuff. And then I started competing. Either way, it ends up being where I have kind of a business coach, right? And I'm telling him, like, man, I don't care about failing.
Right.
Or the title of it.
Yeah.
I'll take one on the chin. You know what I mean? I'd rather take one on the chin than be like, you're losing again, you dumbass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's taking one on the chin.
Yep.
But so I'm talking to him, and he goes, well, your plan was, a 10-year plan. You're 3.5 years in, you're at a pretty good time to be discouraged, honestly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, yeah. I go, well, and he goes, but let's just big picture this. You have a company that does, I'm not even going to say the amount, but does this much money a year, and you're start this company instead of doubling down on the one that you could take to be an 8-figure company. And,
right.
And I'm like going, why? I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that's a really good coach.
He's like, yeah, grow.
Right.
Like he goes, and I'm like, well, damn, too late. He goes, no, it's definitely not too late. You're still the one here.
Yeah.
Undo that bullshit.
Yep.
Put your money there and below. You already have it. And I'm just like, why did it take a stranger to go, wait, you have a good company and a bad company?
Right.
Why don't you just do more with the good company? It's like, oh, no, genius.
I did the same thing. The number of things I did while running a law firm, best practice time of my life, and I'm like trying to write a screenplay, and I'm doing this. Like, what the I think it's just, it's in your head, and you can't get out of it, and you got to do it.
Yes.
And but that's really good advice.
Right. Yeah. If it is, like, I go, man, that was, the most simple, like, and my mom's not a dumb lady, but my mom could have told me that's what needed to happen.
Exactly.
Probably, you know what I mean? It seems like you're doing pretty good. Why don't you just stick with that?
Do more of that. Have you looked in other states? Can you buy one of them? What are you doing?
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm literally starting this company while while our vendors are like begging me to go to Nebraska and go to Iowa. And I'm going, well, I'm not there.
Right. I'm here. And I'm going to do drones.
I'm going to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Granted, I could have put a family in Nebraska for what I've said.
Well, tax write-offs.
Right.
There you go.
But no, that was just something to go, even talking to these guys when it's kind of doubling down, it's going, it works on any scale.
It does.
You know what I mean? I'm not there. That has nothing to do with there being people that work there.
You're 100% right.
So, yeah, it's still the never-ending, me saying I've owned my own business forever clearly didn't make me good at it. It just made me
owning a business forever.
Still learning for sure.
And still your own boss, which
right. I am. Yeah, I don't have to be there necessarily, but sometimes.
So you have a fool for a boss, is that right?
Right. Exactly. Dumbass boss. Yeah. Idiot. Yeah. No shit. But it is. I mean, it was nice to get to and it's kind of cool because, I mean, I'm 48 and I'm capable still, but I have no desire to I mean, I was an installer and, and I liked it. You know what I mean? I think I liked it. I liked the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made shittier money and knew it, so I didn't have stuff.
Right.
So I had more money.
There you go. Yeah. You just.
And now it's like, a hole in the bucket somewhere. But either way. Well, dude, man, I really appreciate you coming in and talking, man. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you, and you're inspiring, man. You've done some really cool things, and then it's like to top it off, you're just kicking life's ass by choice every day.
I appreciate that. Trying.
That right there, dude. Mindset is everything. That's key. Of course, I know your faith is a big deal, which I think that's huge. The Old King's Orchard thing, I'm going to plug that on here for sure. We'll plug your law firm and website and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Just to put you in the mix with what we're doing. But, appreciate your time.
I appreciate it. And you're doing great work.
Thank you, man.
I like it.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Beyond Business. Remember, if you haven't yet, please follow on the YouTube channel. And until next time, be kind to each other.
That's fun.
Quick shout out to our partners, W Energy, clean energy, no crash. Use code BeyondBiz at w.gg for 10% off. Oakwood Screen Printing, custom apparel done right from small runs to big orders. And Midwest Lightning Rods, protecting homes and businesses from lightning strikes across the Midwest. Now let's go. Beyond Business.
Yo, we on business. Yo, we out here hitting that grind. Podcast vibes, letting loose, unwind. Next on the mic, yeah, he flexing with pride. Meeting dope souls, taking you on a ride. Talking about life, not just that paper. Doing it big, ain't no time for a hater. People yap behind his back, but we rise like the sun. Gather round, fam, we just having some fun. Beyond business, it's a vibe, feel that thrill, getting intimate. May even get your heart filled, meeting the legends, those raw and real. Digging deep thoughts, show you how to feel. From the block to the boardroom, we making that move. Beyond business, baby, yeah, we got the groove. Shout out to the hustlers, the real street thugs. We all eat together, no need for the drugs. Yeah, you blessed with the gift, determined to thrive. Nick's breaking it down, keeping that fire alive. Let's go deep like the ocean, no bluff. Beyond business, baby, we can't get enough.